what is Caleb Johnson's fit into the Pittsburgh Steelers offense? Now, as Caleb Johnson got drafted, as you guys know, I wasn't extremely happy with the pick. I thought there were other guys, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter at all because he's a Pittsburgh Steeler now, and that's the only thing that matters. Do I think he can run this offense? Yes. Is he an upgrade over Najee Harris in running a gap scheme and zone scheme type of stuff? 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. He is an upgrade over Najee Harris. Yes, he absolutely is. So to say that he isn't, you're not watching tape. And also to say that he's a clone of Najee Harris is also a problem. The only thing about Caleb Johnson and Najee Harris that's similar is their size. You could say, hey, they got the same body type. Other than that, that's not, they're not the same running guys. They're just not. Najee was not good at running zone schemes. He wasn't. His vision wasn't good enough. His lateral quickness wasn't good enough. That wasn't his thing. Najee was good at downhill running, in between the tackles, downhill. Arthur Smith came in and said, we're going to run a lot of zone scheme stuff. This is his offense. And and now they've got a running back that does that. Now, is Arthur Smith locked into being with the Steelers for the next 10 years? No. But teams still run a lot of outside zone stuff. They still do that no matter what. Every offense has it mixed in there. And this is what Caleb Johnson does. He is a downhill, or he's a one-cut type of a guy. He can run the zone scheme to perfection. And that's what we need. We need a guy that can be that guy. Is he a home run hitter? No, he's not. And he's got enough speed. He's faster than Najee. He's more explosive than Najee. And again, I don't want to get this into a bash in Najee Harris session because, look, Najee suffered from again, an offensive coordinator that didn't necessarily call things to his strengths all the time, and then a subpar offensive line. He struggled behind that, and then mediocre quarterback play. But he was still able to put up some decent numbers behind all that. So we're not going to sit here and just bash Najee Harris and talk and say that he was a bad running back, because that's not true, number one. Mm-hmm. I think Caleb Johnson, Big G, I just think he's better for what the Pittsburgh Steelers are trying to do.
Yeah, first of all, let me apologize. Y'all got bad weather outside, man. So it's back and forth. Lightning just struck. So I'm like, oh my God. Ooh. But anyway, I'm back. I'm back in the building. So is Caleb, first of all, Najee Harris was not a bad running back. Let's just be honest. Najee Harris had 4,000-yard plus rushing seasons for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's 4 consistent 1,000 yards, 4 in a row. So he wasn't a bad running back. But on the flip side of the reverse side, Caleb Johnson was ready-made to insert in the Pittsburgh Steelers offense concerning the zone running scheme and Arthur Smith. Caleb Johnson, go back and watch. And like I said, I've been watching tape extensively with Caleb Johnson. He's got a little bit more burst. He definitely has a little bit better vision. That's the thing that I'm more impressed about than anything, is this kid can see, right? To where Najee, sometimes he would get stuck on, okay, I'm going to go here, or he would think that he could cut back and move, and he couldn't. He didn't have that burst. Where Caleb Johnson can make a move in the hole and then see something and then break and reverse. Because I saw him do that, break backside on zone schemes, running plays and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, kid really can actually see. But the thing that I'm excited about more than anything is he's got fresh legs. Mm-hmm. You can't. There's not a premium on having fresh legs as a running back position in the NFL. And you bring this kid in, he's young, he's proven himself durable, because look what he did at Iowa. And now we're going to give him an opportunity to run in Arthur Smith's system, which is perfectly made for him as far as the NFL is concerned. So I wish Najee well, but Caleb's a better running back, in my opinion, B. Caleb's a better running back.
Yeah, the thing about Najee, somebody put in the chat, Najee dragged defenders onto those 1,000-yard seasons because the blocking was terrible. You would be right. He That's did. Right. How many times? It's not like Najee had a bunch of 25, 30-yard runs. That's not what he did. Najee got to those 1,000 yards. Now, again, 1,000 yards in the NFL today is not what it used to be.
Mhm.
Okay. 1,000 yards is what is it, 62 yards a game. So it's
Facts.
not like, you're running for 125 yards a game. That's not what it is.
Mhm.
Having said all that, we saw what the blocking looked like. It just wasn't very good. It
Yeah.
just wasn't very good. So my man Rob Nash here on the super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel, Rob. We appreciate it. Said Kaleb Johnson needs to work on his pass catching and his pass pro to reach
Yeah.
each level. You're
That's
exactly.
facts.
That's just what I was going to get to here in a minute.
Mhm.
Is first off, what's the workload going to look like with? Well, let's just start here on what he needs to get better at. Since
Mhm.
Rob Nash brought it up, let's just start there.
Mhm.
Can he become a better pass catcher and pass protector? I think those are the things that he has to work on. Now, they didn't ask him to do a ton of that in Iowa. And I
Mhm.
know some people are going to say, well, we got Jaylen Warren for that. Look, you can't just put Jaylen Warren in the game when you're trying to throw the football. You
Mhm.
can't do that. Okay. So Kaleb Johnson's going to have to be out there every now and then when we're throwing the ball. And
Mhm.
he's going to have to be able to catch it out of the backfield. But more importantly, he's going to have to understand where the blitz coming and go over there and hit somebody. He's big. He should be able to go hit somebody. He's got to be able to do that, Big G.
Mhm. B, listen, I did the research, man. Once you got to talking to me about Kaleb, right? So in 2024, the Iowa Hawkeyes threw the ball for 260 times for the complete season, including the bowl game. 260 passes for the whole freaking season. The Iowa Hawkeyes threw the ball. They completed 163 out of the 260. In 2023, they threw the ball 348 times and completed 170 passes. So
Yikes.
never was he at a place where the concept was we're going to throw the ball. So in my opinion, and I'm not throwing no under the bus, I'm just making a statement. They didn't throw the ball in Iowa. So we really don't know what he's going to look like in a pass pro concept. Let's see what he looks like in OTAs and minicamp and see if he can really catch the ball. But he didn't get a lot of the passes in Iowa, and you saw the numbers of how many times they actually threw the ball. They didn't
Yeah.
throw the ball at all. So I think that he's a little underrated in that area, maybe just because there's not film out there that shows him swinging out of the backfield, wheel routes, underneath routes, and catching. Conversely, even in runs and pass sets for him blocking, he didn't have to do a lot of that. Matter of fact, in Iowa, they ran him out of the backfield to try to throw him the ball, at least as a decoy. So he didn't have to sit in there and actually block because he didn't have nobody on the outside that was going to catch the ball.
Right.
So let's just hold our horses a little bit concerning what this kid can actually do in the pass game. Because I think he's going to be better than what people think, bro.
I do too. Let's get back to the workload. I asked that at the beginning. What's his workload going to be? Like how many touches per game? Well, I think initially, because I don't think he's going to be the starter initially, Big G. I think
Mm-mm.
initially they're going to let Jaylen Warren be the starter. And
Mm.
then as the season goes on, I think you're going to see it switch and they're going to give Kaleb Johnson the job because Kaleb Johnson is a workhorse. And look,
Mhm.
we know the Steelers want to run the football. And if they want to run the football, give the ball to your workhorse and let him run it. We know we've seen what Jaylen Warren is doing. We've seen when you give him a big workload, what happens near the end of it. He gets
Mhm.
tired, he gets hurt, but more importantly, he fumbles that damn football.
Mhm.
We've seen that on several occasions, even when, okay, he gets the ball 4 straight times. On that fourth time, that ball seems to always get loose. And I'm
Mhm.
like, look, you can't have that, man. Ball security is everything. So
Mhm.
I like Jaylen Warren. I like Jaylen Warren. But I've said this all along. Jaylen Warren is a change of pace back. That's
Facts.
what he is in this league. And there's nothing wrong with being that in this league. But he
Mhm.
is not a 25 touch a game guy. He's just not that guy. I think Kaleb Johnson can be that, Big G.
Yeah. Listen. So I'm you're thinking concerning like what they're going to do at the very beginning, but I just got this gut feeling that, and we know, listen, we know how Tomlin feels about starting rookies. We know that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I got this gut feeling that if Kaleb Johnson shows that he's the man through OTAs, through minicamp, and through the preseason, it might, the workload might swing 60-40 Caleb Johnson. It might be 40-60 to start out with, 40 him, Warren. But I think that if he shows, because Tomlin doesn't have a problem starting a guy at a position if he feels that he's ready to roll. And we've
Right.
seen that with certain rookies, i.e. Rashard Mendenhall, who I still got an issue and a problem with him. But he didn't have no problem with starting Rashard Mendenhall. He held back a little bit on Le'Veon Bell, right? But he doesn't have issues starting guys right away if they show that they can handle it and they're ready to go. I think this is going to be more about Caleb Johnson absorbing the offensive system and the playbook for the Pittsburgh Steelers. If Caleb can absorb that, I think he'll beat Jalen out in camp. I really do believe that he's going to beat Jalen out in camp, but he's got to absorb the playbook because that's where Tomlin's confidence level comes into play concerning whether or not he's ready to put a rookie out there on the field for meaningful snaps and meaningful downs.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I was just doing some numbers here over Caleb Johnson. So here's the thing: a 13-game schedule in 2022, 2023. In 2022, he had 151 carries. Well, that's carries a game.
Mm-hmm.
100 in 2023, he had 117 carries.
Mm-hmm.
Now in 2024, he had 240. So it's not like he got crushed in college with 250 carries for 3 years in a row. So that didn't happen. So that's what I'm saying. It's like Big Pun asked that question, and it's a great question. He's like, I hope it wasn't like a Cedric Benson who literally got the tires run off of him. Great thing to say. I mean, that's a great comment. But no, that did not happen, which is a good thing because, again, what we're talking about is what's he look like? What's he going to look like 2 years from now? Is he going to hit a rookie wall with 3 years from now? That kind of stuff. I think we got several years in this guy because, again, even our man Najee Harris, he got run a lot at Alabama. Where Caleb Johnson got run a lot 1 year, 240 carries 1 year. The rest, not so much. So I'll accept that. Not to mention, again, I just don't think right off the bat he's going to come in, Big G, and be asked to be a 25 carry a game guy. Now, it may end up being that by the end of the year, but I don't think he's going to be asked to do that. And I think it would be foolish for him to be able to do that game one, especially when you have other running backs on the roster, Big G.
I don't disagree. But like I said, I would say 40-60, B. I really do believe it's 40-60 to start out with from the beginning. But if he absorbs that playbook, it's going to flip 60-40 fast. And Jalen is so let's say this too now, because we ain't even said nothing about Atwell. So you got Atwell, Jalen, and Caleb. If Caleb gets 18 to 20 carries, Jalen Warren's the change of pace, and you bring Atwell in special downs and special situations. That fares well for our current offensive system. And I also believe that the wide receiver, we're going to see more 12 packages this year and probably more 11 packages this year, which actually helps the rook out. Because in 11 package, if Rodgers is the quarterback, you know how he likes to get rid of the ball quick. If the kid can drop out of the backfield and catch it, he's off to the races. We saw that happen in the Jets with what's his name, Breece Hall, and the other kid from Wisconsin, Evans. We saw that happen with them. So now can we see that version of Rodgers if 12's the quarterback with Johnson and with Warren? And I think that'll fare well. And I'm telling you, I just believe that the kid can get anywhere between 1,000 and 1,200 to 1,300 yards his rookie season. I really do believe he could do it. And he's got the workload. I mean, he's got the legs to do it because he's not overworked. So his workload is not high at all. So I like Caleb Johnson, man. I like him a lot. Does he maybe have to show it? Because it's all speculation until they show it. Once they show it and we see it, then okay. But right now, from a speculation standpoint, run Caleb Johnson, man. Run him, man.
I mean, look, they started Najee as a rookie. Now, granted, he was a first-round pick, but first round, third round, if you can play, you can play. I'm still trying to figure out Kenneth Gainwell, him on the right. Not only him, we still have Cordero Patterson still on the
Oh
roster,
my
right?
God. Get that trick. Stop it, man.
I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, I get it. The game well, you need 3 guys. I totally understand that. But 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 Patterson making
Mm-mm.
2.5 million? Like, what are we doing there? And you can say, oh, he can be a returner. How good of a returner was he last year? I mean, we had
Mm-mm.
damn Jalen Warren back there returning kicks last year. And not to mention, you don't need to be paying strictly a returner $2.5 million. The Steelers don't have to do that. We can
Cut him.
find somebody to do that, man. We can
Cut him,
find
B.
somebody to do that. Yeah.
Cut him. Cut him. Cut him. Cut him. Cut him. I can't wait till I get my new signs. I got a new sign coming that's going to say cut. As we get closer to the season, we start chipping down the roster. Cut him. Cut him today. June 1st, get him out of there. Get rid of him, bro. He
Yeah.
got to go.
And that's the thing. Some people in the chat, I think it was Digital, said that Najee's rookie year ruined him. I don't know if it ruined him, but it definitely took a toll on him because that offensive line that Najee Harris ran behind his very first season was maybe the worst offensive line that I've ever seen in the National Football League. It was terrible,
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
And to do that and to run them 356 times, I believe, is insane. But the line should be better, and I've said this all along. If the line is better, then the Steelers will have a good season. And that means Kaleb Johnson, or whoever's running the football, is going to be able to run the football at a good pace because that's what we need for us to be successful. The line's just got to be better. It's up to them. You can put anybody back there at running back, even if they're slow-footed, that don't have good vision. If you have guys that are blocking, you're going to be able to run the football. Just period, point blank. If you can get movement at the line of scrimmage, knock guys off the line of scrimmage, out of the hole, out of the way, just get movement, even on side to side on zone play. You can still get movement. If you can do that, then you've got something. And it's just going to come down to them. But I'm excited about Kaleb Johnson. I'm excited about him being in this offense, especially knowing what Arthur said that he held back on a lot of his zone plays last year because we didn't have the personnel. He said it in a nice way, but just basically say, yeah, we didn't have the personnel to be able to run what we needed to run. I don't think he's going to hold back this year. I think it's going to be full force, inside, outside zone, boot action off of that. That is an Arthur Smith offense, and I'm excited to see it, especially with this guy running the football.
Facts. Facts. I can't wait, man. I think OTAs is going to be very interesting this year because and listen, the national media, you know how y'all do too. I'm gonna call y'all out on the show. Y'all always downplay the Steelers. They're gonna be big trash and all. Look at their schedule, this, that, and this. The Steelers are going to be a lot better than what a lot of people think because of the development of the offensive line and what we have now at skill position to go around along with a team that was defensive dependent that get wore down by the end of the season. Our defense was wore totally down because they was on the field all the freaking time. They ain't going to be on the field all the time this year because we're going to be able to score some points, B. We're going to score some points this year. And not no freaking field goals. We ain't winning 18-16. Right. No, I'm talking about 28 points. We're going to get that at least 3-4 times out of the first 5 to 7 games. We're going to get 28 points, man.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I hope that is what's a thing to come for this Steelers offense because, like I said, it's frustrating as a fan constantly watching your football team not be able to score points or going 3 and out for the first 5 possessions and not being able to move the football and really not getting any points until the middle of the second quarter. And I'm like, come on, man, what are we doing? Like, throw the ball down the field, take a chance, do something. It was just so frustrating, which is why I like Aaron Rodgers, because I think Aaron Rodgers will take chances.
You better believe it.
I think he'll just take some chances. He's going to say, you know what? If it's one-on-one with DK Metcalf on the outside, I'm going to give DK that opportunity. It doesn't even have to be a go ball. I'm just saying whatever his route happens to be one-on-one, I'm going to throw it to him. Same thing with George Pickens. I'm going to throw it to him. You know, if it's one-on-one, I'm throwing the ball. Be ready because the ball could be coming to you. That's why I like Aaron Rodgers. Now, having said that, I also think Mason Rudolph will do the same thing, Big G. I
Yep.
think Mason Rudolph is going to throw that full. He's like, hey, I got one-on-one coverage with these two guys. Mason Rudolph's a smart guy. I mean, he's not as good as Rodgers, doesn't have an arm, but I think he's like, hey, I'm throwing the football, man. I'm going to take my chances with that.
Yep. They're going to push it up the seam, too. They're going to push
Yeah.
it up the seam with them tight ends. We ain't seen that in years since Big Ben left. They going up the seam, bruh. They're going to go up the seam on either side, on either hash, going right up the seam with basically a go route from the tight end position. You're going to see the ball get pushed down the middle of the field, unlike you've ever seen before, based on having the personnel with offensive line and at the skill position, bro. Absolutely.
So Mr. Leonard Dodd said he's going to drop a $50 super chat if we score 28 points every game. So Pittsburgh Steelers, Mr. Dodd is trying to support the channel. And although he didn't put this in the super chat, I'm going to say, or in his message, I'm going to say it for him. He's going to drop a $50 super chat every single game that we score 28 or more points. I'm just holding you to it, Mr. Dodd. I'm just holding you, brother. I'm just holding you to it. Don't blame me. I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger from what you said.
Run me my money, Mr. Dodd. Start running me my money. Every week I'm gonna be out here talking about run me money. That's all you're gonna hear from me when Leonard Dodd starts super chatting. Run me my money.
And
28 points,
Capricorn
bro.
Steel says he's going to second it.
So Capricorn Steel, you run me my money too. When we scoring them 28 points, run me my bread. I need all my dineros, bro. All of them. I need them all.
Yeah, I just, first of all, you know how happy we're going to be if the Steelers are scoring that many points? Because look, we can talk about the defense and how it wasn't great basically for the last quarter of the season or the last 6 or 7 games. We can talk about that. But if the Steelers offense is out there a lot and we're putting up 28 points, I don't know how many games we're going to lose if we're scoring 28 points in. That's all I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying we're going to outscore everybody, but I'm willing to bet 28 points. If we do that on a week in, week out basis, I'm not sure how many games the Steelers are going to lose doing that. Now, that's high, just it's high praise, but it's also, looking into the future. I mean, that's something that we can't even fathom right now, scoring 28 points a game. But I'll tell you what, teams were doing it last year.
Sure
I know
was.
that for a fact. Teams did it last year. So the opportunity is there. We just have a lot on stake. We got a lot at stake for it. But like I said, I feel good on where this offense is going. So I feel good about it.